The future of women's golf takes centre stage. Tēnā koutou katoa, no mai, haere mai. Welcome to the 2026 Women's Amateur Asia Pacific, where the brightest young stars of the game battle for glory at Royal Wellington Golf Club in Aotearoa, New Zealand. With world-class talent, rising stars, and a path to the sport's biggest stages, including 3 majors. This is the Women's Amateur Asia Pacific.
It's day 2 of the 2026 Women's Amateur Asia Pacific. New Zealand and the beautiful Royal Wellington Golf Club are our hosts for the 8th playing of this prestigious championship. My name is Kid Alexander. I've got the wonderful Trish Johnson alongside me. It's a pleasure to have you with us as well. 84 players from 25 countries teeing it up this week. That's the most ever. 72 holes of stroke play. And at the end of today, a tie. The top 50 and ties will make the cut for weekend golf. Play is well underway and we've had some great action already.
Yeah, this was Liao's birdie at the 4th, hitting at pace. That will get her to 4 under par.
Goto, one of the biggest hitters in the field. This was her second into the 5th. She would convert that and she's 3 under par for the day.
This is Rian Maliksi. This was her birdie putt out the 4th hole. Again, hitting with beautiful pace, very confidently holed.
Yeah, it's been a good start for the former US Women's Amateur Champion from the Philippines. Back to back after this approach at 6. She's well in the mix.
Our leader from yesterday, Yang, this was her birdie putt. And that got her to 12 under par and a nice healthy 5-shot lead.
Yeah, it's been absolutely scintillating stuff so far from Yun So Yang. A 64 yesterday. She picked up right where she left off, starting on the back 9, 4 under for the day through 12. And as Trish said, a 5-shot lead from Ariana Lau and Rian Maliksi. No Koreans ever won this event. Could Yang be the first? And we'll head down to the 6th tee and pick up Rian Maliksi.
372 yards this one today. Swinging very confidently, just up the right-hand side. That's absolutely perfect. Wide fairway, this one. Weather, well, I think it's a bit rainy, but still plenty of warmth out there.
First look at Gyu Bean Kim for birdie at the 5th. Good stuff. That gets her back to 3 under par. Actually got to 6 under through 13 holes yesterday before 3 bogeys in her last 5, but level par for the day.
Yeah, it's a tough driving hole, number 6. Really is. Trees both sides. Just a landing area there, around about 250. And the 6th hole today, well, it's bang in the middle of the green. The pin, 23 yards right in the centre.
Jazzy Roberts' tee shot on its way. The Australian in fine form, but that's just headed down the left-hand side. She has already won the Australian Women's Amateur this year by 6 shots. Shea, bit of work for her par, and that one slides by. So that'll be a second drop shot of the day for her.
Yeah, beautiful tee shot from Hiroyoshi. She's some player, I tell you. She finished 3rd in the Japanese Open last year. And that's the JLPGA event, Japanese Open, as an amateur. 15 under par, only 4 shots behind the leader, Hori. She's going to be some superstar.
So Jin Park for par at 6. Third after the opening round, but a couple of bogeys already today has her heading in the wrong direction. That's a wonderful look at the course here at Royal Wellington. The Hutt River running alongside it, as you can see, tree-lined, beautiful piece of parkland. The club's been in existence since 1895, but this layout that we're playing today, this championship course, designed and opened in 2013. Hana Cypher is out there treading the fairways with us with this featured group today. Good afternoon, Hana. A little bit more soggy out there today.
Good afternoon, everyone. It certainly is a very muggy day here in Wellington. The rain has lifted from what we had this morning, but it remains threatening, but at the moment we're dry.
Pretty good approach shot there from Maliksi. A little bit short maybe, but decent birdie opportunity. Good looking golf swing that, very powerful. Not the tallest of players, but she's got plenty of welly in it.
Well, Robert's not wasting any time, good to see. The R&A are encouraging ready golf this week to keep up the pace of play.
Yeah, it got a bit silly yesterday, the ready golf, didn't it? 2 balls at the same time. Not ideal. Hiroyoshi thought she might be doing slightly better this week. Plenty of time, but she's a long way behind our leader, Yang. That just needs to sit down, okay.
Ijia Ren, longish birdie putt, a little bit of a tear to deal with in the middle as well here on the par 3 8th. Couple of pigeons enjoying their lunch in the tree there. We saw plenty of birdies yesterday, 1 or 2 eagles sprinkled in there as well, and I think with the rain that's come down slightly softening the greens, it's likely to continue certainly at the top of the leaderboard today, Trish.
Yeah, I think the course will be playing possibly even easier than it was yesterday. Obviously if it starts raining, that's not the, no one really wants to play in the rain, but just that little softening of the fairways and certainly the greens will have made, well, certainly balls landing much softer than they did yesterday on the greens. Looks perfect out there, to be honest.
This championship's really important for the region, growing the game, as is the academy that players can attend.
The Women's Amateur Asia Pacific Academy aims to invite players from developing countries to uplift their skills and abilities to better compete during championship week.
The Academy has helped my game a lot already for past 2 days that I've been here. I've learned a lot about my short game, my long game, the mental side of golf, and also like the physio and how to maintain your body so you can continue and play at your highest level.
To have these professionals going deeper into the game and knowing more about it has just been amazing. A few parts of my game that I've been wanting to work on would definitely be my short game. It's always been my weakness, but I'm pretty sure I've taken a bit from what I've learned here, and hopefully I can take it back with me and better my game entirely.
In the academies, we bring together coaching staff with a bit of a range of backgrounds, but they're all golf industry professionals. And they're people that the young players, particularly from the developing nations, would never have had a chance in their life to come across. There's some very good players and some very strong players. So I think that they might just hold their own and maybe surprise a few other people in the tournament.
Robert's birdie putt to get to 6 under within 6 of the lead. It was great to see Tiana Jaycott and Faith Vui in that VT there, benefiting from that. And they're 2 players who are today bidding to be the first ever from their nations to make the cut at this event.
Yeah, very much so. What a great idea that has been. Now our leader, fourth fairway. Well, she's still peppering. That's unlucky. That just shows how much softer the greens are. That would have yesterday, that might have just jumped forward closer to the flag, but still good opportunity. She looks a class player. There's no two ways about it.
She has dropped a shot today. She went bogey free yesterday. I'm not sure we've really seen her hit a bad shot, to be honest.
No, she looks in total control, doesn't she? Malixie's birdie putt to get within 4. Looks a little bit right to left. Yeah, just on the low side. What a great initiative, Kit. That really is, that academy. I don't think these, I wonder if these kids know how lucky they are. Seriously, it's just such a great idea for so many different reasons. We'll talk about that a bit later in the show, hopefully.
Goto just gave the break a little bit too much respect there.
Hirayoshi's birdie putt from a bit of distance, and there's some ups and downs in this one. Oh, absolute piece of cake. No wonder a caddy's clapping. That's an absolute cracker of a putt.
Yeah, first red number of the day gets her back to level for the second round. And that's a long way back, with Yang setting the pace at 12 under. And there's pressure on the other girls. If they're looking at the leaderboards and they're seeing this, of course, you're only halfway at the end of today, but you don't want to be giving up too many shots going into the weekend, even if you're in second or third spot.
No, and, you know, these girls know who's leading as well. It's you look at these and they're amateurs, yes they are, but almost in name only. They play so many big tournaments, whether it's for colleges in the States or actually just their amateur ranking events, that they know how good each player is. And this player in the lead, well, good luck if you can give her a 5-shot lead going into the weekend.
Yeah, that is the fourth green, a birdie miss for Iwanaga, playing alongside Yun So Yang.
Park's second shot. This would be a very popular top out there today. That's three of the players, I think, have got the same colour shirt on. That's most unusual.
It's not helping us in the commentary box,
Not really,
is it?
no. Not ideal. Got to be honest. They could be a little bit more thoughtful, couldn't they?
I remember the Hoygar twins a few years ago when they first came on the scene discussing that they would wear exactly the same clothes the first time they were paired together.
Yeah, it's like on the LPGA at the moment, the EY twins, but fortunately one has long hair and one has short hair. It's about the only way I can tell the difference.
Chen, a little bit more than she would probably have liked for birdie here at the par 5.
You can just see the speed of the greens just because the moisture that is has come down in the morning. The players haven't quite got to grips with just how much slower the greens are today.
Yeah, measured at 10 feet 10 inches yesterday and first thing this morning, but that was before the rain came down.
Yeah, 7th hole, lovely little par 4, slight dogleg to the right hand side. If you can land in that left centre here is perfect. That gives you a great line into the flag. Flag is on 16, 9 from the right. Now the green doesn't have any bunkers. Well, it has one at the back, but that really doesn't come into play. But there are big fall-offs everywhere on this green, but it's about as generous pin position as you're going to get.
Hannah Ray, we've been speculating about how much softer the course is going to play with that downpour we had earlier. What are you seeing out there?
Yeah, it's a great question, and like you said, they did measure the same speed as yesterday this morning, and they have been getting firmer day by day. However, they definitely do seem to be pulling up a little bit more now. Definitely more receptive, but still pretty firm.
Hiroyoshi first on the tee after that superb birdie. And a good tee shot from the 15-year-old.
To increase her lead, Yang, pretty straight putt, slightly downhill. Yeah, just thought it was going to break a tad left to right.
Maliksi at the 7th. We can see from that picture that rain is starting to come down a bit heavier again now. Jessie Roberts, the last of this trio to tee off. Australian birdied the first hole today, but it's been all pars since then, but straight down the middle. It's a fantastic featured group here, all of them in the top 50 of the world amateur golf ranking. Yurina Hiroyoshi, the highest ranked of the three and the second highest ranked in the field this week. First look today at Grace Rowe. Needs to get something going at level par. This is for birdie at 8.
Oh, you got to be kidding me. Really?
That just needs a raindrop to fall on the correct bit of the ball and it will topple in, surely.
Bit of trouble on the 7th for Lou. But she's got out of there without too much damage. Just going to tap that in. That's a good two-putt from where she was. Disappointing though. The Kiwi 4 over par. That's not what she would have been looking for this week.
Gubin Kim ticking along quite nicely. No birdie there for the Korean. She's got an interesting approach. She follows a principle that she says her goals out loud and then believes her body will follow. Sort of manifestation, I guess you would say.
I love it. Tried that a couple of times. Oh, I know the opposite works, so why shouldn't that work, to be honest? Oh, if you have a negative and you think of anything negative, well, that does happen, especially on the golf course, especially. So I like her thinking. Positivity all round.
Yuji Leo. Needs to get to 5 under.
Yeah. Believe it or not, I think this is her 4th appearance. She's only 15 years of age. She competed as an 11-year-old in Singapore. And she shot 70 in the first round, and she came into the comms box where we were, and she sat down, and I was trying to sort of talk to her and say, you know, what a great round. And she was looking at me as if to say, who the hell are you? What are you talking about? And can you just leave me alone? And I thought, she's going to be a superstar, this kid.
Coming into the commentary box at that age. Absolutely remarkable. Please, tee shot on its way at the par 3/8. All settle.
$120 yards to the pin, 129 yards to the pin here for Urena, 9-iron in hand.
Now that tree on the right-hand side, I'm assuming that's not going to come into play. That's a cracking shot, really is. Conditions are perfect for peppering the pins today with your irons. Just got to fire them straight at the flags. Soft, receptive greens.
And the wind is forecast to get up over the weekend as well, especially on Sunday. So make your birdies while the going's good.
Looks like she's going straight at it. As we see the rain coming down, she doesn't like it much. It's not too bad. Not too bad. A little bit short, maybe a little bit heavy. Put the waterproof jacket on. That's never easy to play in.
Good hit down here for Jazzy Roberts. She's a long way down.
Beautiful shot, really good, very interesting. Three very different looking swings in this group, but they all know how to get the job done.
So the umbrellas are out for the players this morning. It was a beautiful day yesterday, about 26 degrees, a little bit of light breeze but dry, whereas this morning the rain showers have come in. Still a reasonable temperature but humid and muggy out there, just 6 to 8 miles an hour of wind. Maybe half a club here or there. Is the wind much different to yesterday, Hannah Ray? Not just in strength, but direction as well?
No, not a huge difference. It's definitely staying low at the moment. I think the conditions are just changing so much with the drizzle that's really on and off at the moment. As you've seen, a lot of the girls have just put the weather gear on, and so that will certainly change the dynamic for them a little bit. But yeah, it's definitely coming in a bit thicker now.
Not everyone likes playing in the rain gear. Trish, what was your approach on a day like this?
Hated rain gear, don't mind the bottoms, couldn't stand the top, would just get wet, simple as that. Lee's second shot from the right-hand side of the 8th. It's quite a inviting chip, this, into a very slow upslope, but she hasn't given that enough. Just probably got the club stuck in that. Grass is obviously gets so much more clingy because it's a little bit wet.
Yeah, it's going to rely on a little bit of adaptation on the fly out there, especially with the chip shots. Maybe a skiddy first bounce, but then slowing up a bit quicker once it gets rolling on these moist greens. Birdie putts for all three of this group here.
I think this golf course has lost its sort of edge a bit today, because the greens are what makes it very difficult. They're so undulating, but I think because they've slowed down so much, that really, as long as it doesn't rain too hard, the scoring should be exceptionally good today.
Cracking CV that Malixi's putting together already, 22nd in the World Amateur Golf Rankings. As mentioned, she did win the 2024 US Women's Amateur. Already a winner this year as well over in the collegiate scene in America in her first year at Duke University.
That'll be one of the reasons, putting like that. Beautiful putting stroke. You always know when it goes in at the correct pace like that.
As the rain picks up here very strongly, just as they are getting ready for their putts. A little bit of break on this. All the putts are coming off the right with the slope in the middle of the green. Certainly some good opportunities, and another one here for Urena.
Looking to make it back-to-back birdies after that first pickup of the day on the previous hole.
Oh, she clearly thinks this is going to break a good sort of 6-8 inches right to left down the hill. Well, she was right, but she started it straight, unfortunately. She's in good form as well. She finished 6th in the Aussie Amateur last week.
That's the leader, her second at 5 on the way. It's dead aim every time.
Yeah, it's very impressive, isn't it? Now, Jazzy Roberts, after that lovely approach shot, just a little bit, starting it right to left. Has she got the pace? Oh, no. Disappointing. Just that little bit of dew on the grass now, on the greens. That's a shame.
So she'll stay where she is at 5 under par. Sumin Oh, the highest ranked player in the field at 11 in the WAGR, making her move today. She's just birdied 4 in a row to move into 3rd spot. She was striking the ball beautifully on the back 9 yesterday. Didn't quite get the rewards on the greens, but they're dropping for her today. Not the start Sojin Park would have been looking for, a couple over. Sophie Hannah, another one heading in the wrong direction today. Janeth Wong, defending champion. She was 4 under through 6 holes yesterday. Went a bit awry after that, and she slipped over par for the championship today. Heading down towards the cut line here. Remember, the top 50 plus ties will be with us over the weekend. So for these girls, it's perhaps a case of looking over the shoulder a little bit at this stage. You'll see the Sri Lankan flag of Kaya Galuwate there at +3 inside the cut mark, and if she was to stay there, she would make history for her nation as the first player from Sri Lanka to make the cut. And a similar story for Alina Zreik, just 1 shot outside of it at the moment, but again looking to make history. Elise Barber there, great story. She hit the first tee shot yesterday, just 13 years old, a member here at Royal Wellington. And these girls have got a lot of work to do if they're to see the weekend. Raina Kumar, first ever representative for Fiji. And Bat Dilher as well from Mongolia, taking the total of countries represented in this tournament's history to 32. Ratana Howard, the oldest in the field at 33, with a little boy now coming back to playing some competitive elite amateur golf as a mum. But it's Yun So Yang taking control at the business end of the tournament.
Well, the second of the par 3s on the front 9, the 8th hole, Shea at 2 under par, 154 yards today. Pins all the way at the back, 9 from the right. Well, that is in all sorts of trouble. I'm not even sure if did the guy with the umbrella see it? Maybe.
Well, here is the leader. We saw another absolute dart. Just let the birdie putt slide by on the previous hole. You don't want to let too many opportunities go when you know you're in this hot vein of form and the long game is working. You want to take advantage of it, don't you?
You do, but she's playing so well, tee to green, that I think, you know, she's in that sort of zone where all you're thinking is, I'm going to have a birdie putt on every single hole, and you've got to be a little bit realistic. This one's a nice one though. Down the hill, tad left to right. Oh, it didn't move. Good putt as well.
Yeah, of course, as well as affecting the pace, the moisture will just make putts break that little bit less. She's in a rich vein of form. She's won her last 3 WAGR events going back to the tail end of last year, so she's doing nothing but win at the moment.
Yeah, and it becomes a habit, and it's a very, very nice habit to have.
Sojin Park on the tee at the 8th. That's a little unlucky. That's just going to settle down into the little swale just short of where the pin is cut today.
Yeah, beautiful little par 3, this one. I mean, I did say yesterday that that water doesn't really come into play, or it shouldn't do, maybe to a back right pin. Well, funny enough, today we've seen that one player just go straight into the drink. But it's only a little 7-iron maybe today, but that back pin maybe just brings that right-hand tree into play just a fraction. But it's a beauty of a par 3.
That's the view you get from the tee.
Yeah, the perfect shape here is just a tiny little fade, just to start it up the left and then it drift back into the flag. Neither of those are going to be particularly easy putts.
Yujia Liu. And that'll give her a good chance to take one step closer to the leader. Of course, it's a great title to win and have on your CV, but look at what you earn in doing so on the right-hand side. 3 major championship invitations, the IIG Women's Open Chevron Championship, the Amundi Evian Championship in France as well, the Augusta National Women's Amateur, Aussie Open, Hana Financial Group Championship, and of course the 123rd Women's Amateur. That'll be at Muirfield this year. That is a hell of a lineup of competitions and courses to be visiting if you can get yourself over the line this week.
Well, it's extraordinary pressure in a way. I mean, when you get to this championship, if you look at that, you think of pros winning, obviously, the money is so important as well as the titles, but I tell you what, I'm not sure I've ever seen one particular tournament where you actually gain so much. You can ask a lot of the pros who come and have a go in this and get in those tournaments. It's absolutely outstanding.
This is Regan Denton. Left herself below the hole for her birdie putt here at 7. She knew early on it wasn't going to find the bottom of the cup. Yeah, the pathway of this event is so important, giving these young amateurs experience, but if you're thinking of pursuing a professional career, which the majority of players in this field are, as Ren rolls in a good putt there, what you will gain from going and playing in those events is, you almost can't describe it.
No, it's invaluable, isn't it? The experience is invaluable without a shadow of a doubt, and so many of these players, when you read their bios and you listen to them, they know very well why this tournament is so important to them, because what they can gain in experience from the places that they'll go, well, you can't buy that. Money can't buy it.
Gyubin Kim for her birdie on 7. tucks that one home very, very nicely. Yeah, it's one thing we've seen in the amateur game in the last 10 or 15 years. We've always had the women's amateur and the amateur championship in UK and Europe, but the regions and continents around the world, the R&A are introducing these amateur tournaments, these pathways for young men and women, and providing great entertainment for us along the way as well.
Yeah, I find these tournaments fascinating, I really do, because you're basically watching the next series of young superstars on, whether it be the LET or LPGA, JLPGA, Chinese Tour. This is definitely one, without a shadow of a doubt. Front pin today on 9, all the way at the back yesterday, up the slope, but today just
bit of a hold up we're hearing on 8 down there, Hannah Ray. Come back to Hannah Ray in a moment. First of all, we'll take a look at this birdie putt of Sojin Park, who's got off to a very, very pedestrian start today. And that's a little bit of a wide as well. Great view of the undulations from these lower camera angles. Of course, the towers provide great views as well, but you really get a feel for what the players are facing when you get the cameras down at ground level. Ball was, of course, in the water for Shea off the tee, so that's a bogey for her. She's a couple over for the day, back to 1 under for the tournament. Jaya Siwong taking advantage of that front left pin at 9 as well.
back to the 8th. Just the par putt of Park. Nicely holed.
So the green is clear. And Rian Maliksi has donned the waterproof jacket alongside the waterproof trousers.
Yeah, she was disappointed last year. She had to withdraw after 5 holes of this tournament last year with a back injury. I can only imagine when you think of the prizes on show here, so incredibly disappointing, but to come back and be banging contention shows how important this tournament is to all these players.
And she's another one to find that popular little swale just shy and right of the pin. Yeah, it was an injury that lingered a bit for her and took a bit of shaking off. She was commenting in the lead up to this event how proud and what a big comeback it is for her to get back here and obviously right in the mix. Right, can anyone get it onto that back tier?
I was just about to say the same thing. Come on, it's only 154 yards. No one's got it within 10 yards of pitching it anywhere near this flag yet. Be aggressive. I'm not sure that one's going to get back there either. That didn't seem to be flush in any shape or form. No. That's going to leave a pretty interesting shot.
Jazzy Roberts, can she do any better than her two playing partners?
That one's fanned out a little bit right. No, not hit solidly either. The rain is just affecting them a little bit. That's a long, long way short. That's going to be a very difficult two-putt.
So Rhian Maliksi off to a really nice start today. She'd already picked up a birdie at the third and rolled this one in at the par 5 fourth.
This was her second shot to the 5th hole. In the perfect position, middle of the fairway. This would be for her 3rd birdie on the bounce, and she'd knocked that in.
She parred 6, but then made it 4 red numbers in 5 holes. Curling this one in down the slope at 7. And that got her within 4 of the lead of Yun So Yang. And we'll head to our leader on the 6th.
Middle of the fairway yet again. Long way down as well. We know she gives it a rip off the tee. Pin bang in the middle of the green here. Just again, just a fraction short. Just those greens making it grab that little bit more than the players expecting.
Goto's come up short with her approach here at the 9th. This will require a bit of finesse.
Just short of that slope on 9. It's quite hard to judge how far that flag is up on that top tier. So after that pulled iron shot, Hiroyoshi just checking out where she wants to land this. Looks to me like a maybe sort of 3/4 of the way up. And just let it gently fall down to the flag. Is she going to go first? No, I'm not sure what's going on here yet.
Oh, Jazzy Roberts was a long way short on the green, but she might be furthest away. I think they are waiting for Hiroyoshi. We've seen a real mix of shots from around the greens this week. It's been interesting. We've seen putters, flop shots, people having to bump it into up slopes before it gets onto the green. It's testament to the design here. It gives you options and forces you to make a decision.
Yeah, it's the one part of the game, I would say, for majority of these players that just isn't quite at the level of, you know, the very top players. Tee to green, absolutely, they can all really play. But these shots, these are the ones, a little bit of imagination required. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Probably about 6 feet short. I've seen a lot of players putt from off the, you know, the edge of the green, and that's quite unusual as well.
Well, Lee didn't make her birdie at 9 after that excellent approach. Can Siwong? Yes, she can. This is a bit of a roller coaster, Trish.
Yeah, good luck with this one. You can see where her feet are aiming. She's aiming this about 15 feet left of the flag. It's a good starting line. Has she just overhit it a little bit? No, that's a really good putt from where she was. Excellent touch, good vision. This 8th hole, 2 birdies all day long today. It's playing the 2nd hardest hole on the golf course. So this little stretch, actually 8 and 9, tricky. The 2 hardest holes on the golf course today are 8 and 9.
Lovely weather for ducks. this is the area of the game that Maliksi wanted to warm up after yesterday. Said she didn't hole enough putts. Well, she has so far today. Can she find another one? There was a decent try coming up out of that swale. Continues her good start today though, 4 birdies, 4 pars.
Now our leader to increase her lead to 5 shots. Up the hill, right to left. Got to make sure she gives this enough. This is going to be very slow. Fabulous effort, really very unlucky. Thought she had that one, Kit.
Yeah, looked good for a very long time. A decent chip from Hiroyoshi, but this is what it's left to save the par on 8.
This front pin on 9, it's been bombarded by the players today. Sojin Park, second shot, just a flick, not much in there at all. Oh, it's a little bit unlucky, just flew it a couple of yards too far and it's released all the way down into that. And that's a tricky putt coming back, especially to judge the pace.
Grace Rowe laid up to here on the 10th. It's a par 5. Now back to the 9th and Vivian Liu.
Yeah, that's good. Pin height, good distance control there. Not really involved in the tournament at 3 over at the moment, but important to make the cut here. Yeah, so long hole 9. It's pretty straight away par 4. There's a bunker to avoid up there on the left-hand side. So this is the second hardest, no, the hardest hole on the golf course today. I wouldn't think so, with the players that we've just seen knock it in close to that front left-hand pin position. Pin was all the way at the back yesterday. It was a very different hole, but just by that front left pin position today, I think that's it's causing a few issues, and the rain coming down is the other issue at the moment. The golf course is going to get soggy quite quickly.
Yeah, this is certainly more precipitation than we were expecting from the forecast. Straight down for the tee, so she's going straight over to the umbrella and the ball's going straight down the middle. I say normally, you know, it's a good sign and she's hit a good tee shot, but she might have just been keen to get back under the brolly there, but she has hit a good tee shot as well.
Yeah, this is where the caddies earn their money. Well, I say earn their money, they're not going to earn anything, but you know what I mean. They can be an absolute godsend. I remember playing in Australia at the Vic Open and having a local caddy, Stan Duthie. I think he probably is watching. He always watches the golf out there. If you're around, Stan, thank you again for caddying for me all those years back.
Oh, Jazzy Roberts finished 4th in the Vic Open this year. Looks like that rain is back with a vengeance, and you're back with us, Hannah Ray.
I am back with you, and it certainly is. Although bizarrely, the sun has decided to also come out at the same time, and it's massively picked up with the rain as well.
sun and rain means there must be a rainbow somewhere, so keep an eye out for that pot of gold. It's not over there, I can tell you that. So a little bit of a loose one for Hiroyoshi. She will have work to do for her second shot. Forward to the 10th. Third shot of Ren. Can she knock it a little bit closer than her two playing partners?
Well, this is tricky. She's got loads of hollows and slopes, and she's putting it as well. Wow. Yeah. Okay, not too bad, really. Yeah, pretty good effort from there. Big backswing. Also, almost had a good solid wrist cock on that one.
Kim at the 8th tee. Can she get it all the way back to this tricky flag today? Well, hey, you're punching the air, Trish.
I am delighted with that. Absolutely delighted. Park at the 9th. A birdie putt. Oh, it's bang on line as well. It's a good effort.
There are a couple of Sojin Parks in the field this week from Korea, and the other one is having a really good day. 4 under bogey free and has moved up to a tie for 4th at 5 under.
Ren's birdie putt at 10. It's a slow one. Oh, caught the right edge. Well, they all count.
This would be a much needed birdie for Vivian Liu. It's just not going her way. 21 years old now, won the New Zealand Women's Amateur at the age of 14 back in 2018. Birdied 4 of her last 5 holes, and then that took it to an extra hole, and she birdied that to win it as well. So she does know how to close it out, but she's nowhere near at the moment.
Birdie putt at the 10th hole. That's very unlucky. Lee's birdie putt just lipped out. Interesting, that pin's on the front of 10 today, but with the conditions, doubtful there's too many players that can get up there.
Yeah, unlucky there, Grace Rowe. Caught a lot of the hole, that one. Why don't they make colourful waterproofs? They're all black and dark blue and grey.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question, Kit.
Well, we haven't seen too many shots from these barky areas under the trees so far this week. Bit of a test of your footing as well. It's not quite as firm underneath.
No, very much so, yeah. Got to get your weight on that left side, really, and just make sure that your left, especially the left foot, does not move an iota. Got to stay down very much through it and trust that you're going to catch the ball first. And she's a bit concerned. She's got to be careful here, because that tree, you can't be hitting, no leaves can be coming off there unless it's actually in the actual swing that you take. Practice swings, that's a no-no. Don't think anything didn't see anything fall, but got to be very careful. Not easy when you know you're going to hit that limb as well. She didn't actually in her actual swing. Interestingly, she's played that very well indeed. That's a fantastic shot, it really is. That is first class. Such a tough shot. With a rescue.
154 yards here, 7-iron.
Oh, short-sided herself, and that will be a test of the short game.
.150 here, downwind off the left.
Bit of a lean, and Maliksi has just missed the green there. Well, a lot of very good young players with some big ambitions in the game teeing it up this week, and we heard about them a little earlier on.
My name is Insa Choi, and I want to be on the LPGA Tour later in a couple of years.
I'm Gia Kataria, and one day I want to play on the LPGA and be able to travel to places like I am this week.
Hi, I'm Rian Maliksi, and my dream is to be the world #1 and be the best Filipino golfer.
Hi everyone, my name is Ziyu Fong, and I think the biggest goal that I have right now is to learn how to understand people better each day, just as I'm trying to understand my golf swing better each day.
Hi, I'm Nisha Ganpai, and I wanted to play in the LPGA and then continue the legacies to younger girls.
Hi, my name is Tanana Kochisamani. It's quite a long name. You can call me TK. My goal for golf is to be a gold medalist for the Olympics.
Hi, I'm Sabrina Wong, and in the future I hope to be an LPGA professional golfer.
Hi, my name is Faith Bowie, and one day I want to be the best in the world.
Lofty ambitions, and no doubt a fair few players in the field this week will go on to play on the LPGA, no doubt compete in majors. 4 former competitors in this event have won major championships. Denton's long birdie putt. It's one we've seen a bit of from short of the pin here at 8.
Yeah, just need a little bit more. These long putts up the slopes, difficult to judge with the pace of the greens today.
Yeah, no one getting close to 10 in 2 in this rain. Siwong's third. It's working its way further away. Well, we saw the approach short-siding Roberts. Not one of her best. Yeah, the 4 major winners who've competed in this. Yuka Saso, she's got a couple of them. US Women's Opens in 21 and 24. Patti Tavatanakit, the Chevron Championship, as it was then in 2021. Ayaka Purue and Grace Kim.
Rianne's had a good look at this one. She trying to decide between putter and wedge. She's taken out the wedge. Got a lot of fringe to contend with before actually getting onto the green here as well.
An easy shot. Maybe could have just played that with the blade open a little bit and just slid the club underneath the ball. Was probably the way to go, but good chance at par.
Well, Goto's one of the biggest hitters in the field, so if she can't get anywhere near 10, that tells you something. More than one way to skin a cat, though.
Now, after that slightly strange chip shot, Jazzy Roberts, 30 feet here for par on the 9th. It's going to be a slow one. Too well to get it to the hole. Yeah, good effort, but just a tad shy. Another bogey on 9 today. Hardest hole on the golf course.
It's funny, we seem like we've seen close birdie putts or bogeys. This is a long birdie putt for Siwong.
Now after that extraordinary escape shot, Hiroyoshi, this would be a birdie and a half, wouldn't it? She's seen the line, she knows. Oh, and it licked its lips as well. Well, that's fantastic, really is. What a tremendous birdie that is.
You could have got good money on her birdieing that hole and the other two struggling for pars after the tee shots, couldn't you?
You are not kidding, Kit, really. I mean, that almost feels like you've picked up 2 shots, really.
What a shot this was out of the trees.
Yeah, it really was. Judged this perfectly. Bit unlucky not to release a fraction more, actually, but to then knock it in as well. You know, you get up to that drive and you're thinking you're in all sorts of trouble. You're just desperate to try and make par, and you end up birdie. Phenomenal.
Well, Maliksi with a good 6 feet to avoid a first drop shot of the day. Up and out of it very, very quickly. So it's a step backwards for the Filipino. And that's good news for Yun So Yang at the top. First blemish of the day. Out in 33, still a very nice front 9. But that leaves Yang 5 shots clear. Oh, and Maliksi tied in second. Good birdie for Goto at the 10th. First look at Tiana Jaycott from Guam.
Yeah, not too many lefties. Oh, I tell you what a shot that is.
Well, she's looking to be the first player from Guam to make the cut in this championship. She's at 8 over. I think she's going to get that to get back to 7 over after this absolute stunner.
Yeah, almost unlucky not to hole that. Yeah, had a chance.
Currently standing at +5. It's going to go out to probably at least +6, +7 maybe. So a good finish. And Jaycott could make history for her nation.
Well, Yang with yet another birdie putt at the 7th. Pretty similar distance to quite a few that we've seen her miss today. You do think you keep knocking them in, what, inside 10, 12 feet? You've got to make one eventually. Just got to get it started on line. Nope, another one slips by. Frustrating when you're playing this well from tee to green, but you've got to remember as well, you just look at the leaderboard, you've got a 5-shot lead. You cannot let the fact that you're not holing putts annoy you.
Well, our featured group now heading on to the back 9 at the 10th, Hannah Ray.
Yeah, there's definitely a couple of tougher pins out here today, most notably the 11th, 12th and 18th on this back 9, which I think are going to really play quite differently from yesterday because of those changes in pin positions. So let's see how the girls tackle those coming into the back 9.
Waterproof has come off for Maliksi, so that rain must have eased up, Hannah Ray.
Yeah, it has. It has disappeared for now. However, it's those awkward conditions where you've still just got your wet weather gear on, but it's a bit too muggy, so it's all a bit uncomfortable out here at the moment, Kit.
Missed fairway for Maliksi, but as we've seen, no one really going for 10 in 2 today, so she should be able to manoeuvre herself back into position without too many problems from there. Bold birdie putt for Si Wong has left her this sixes on par fives hurt.
Denton's second shot from the right-hand side of the fairway. She's a long way down. This is just a flick with a wedge to this front pin. Oh, that's unlucky. Just at a time, did not want any backspin. Unfortunately, she did get it.
Park her third at 10. Even with a wedge in hand, we've seen more shots conservative than in close here.
You see just the difference in the conditions between yesterday and today. Players just getting that little bit of spin that they don't really want.
Leo, second at 9. How tricky is it to adapt to that as the course changes?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Especially when the rain starts coming down when you're already out there. That's the difficulty. That's a good shot. Yeah. Liao's parents, both professional table tennis players, and her father is a 2-time Olympic champion at table tennis at the Atlanta Olympics. Won the singles and the doubles, and also won more medals in Sydney. So she comes from a family with great expectations, I'd say.
You can imagine, while there's expectations, that's got to be helpful though. Her parents, and obviously father in particular, they know what it takes to compete in something at a world-class top level. She will have grown up in an environment, and is growing up in an environment where that's normalised.
Yeah, you would think so, wouldn't you? She looks incredibly comfortable, as I say. I saw her as an 11-year-old, and you just knew she was going to be, you know, a top player. It's almost as you say. I think when you've got parents like that, obviously there's huge expectation, but it's almost just ingrained in you that you're going to be a champion. Why wouldn't you be? Because everybody else is.
And good athletic genes as well.
Well, you could say that, yes, indeed.
So Jim Park to move to 4 under par. Didn't really hit it with any conviction.
You know that saying, the lull before the storm? When you see that picture, you just have a feeling, don't you, that it's so still. It's almost a bit eerie out there.
The timing of when these squalls comes through and the wind gets up and down is important as well. What hole are you on? Is it one where you can attack? Is it a tricky hole? Sometimes little things like that are obviously totally out of your control can make such a big difference. Just a par for Sojin Park, but with the rain having stopped, the greens being softer, that little lull in the wind, Maliksi playing the par 5 10th. It's a real opportunity.
Really tricky lie here for Maliksi. Ball below her feet. She was doing some practice swings with her back leg up on the slope. Just wants to get this back in play.
She's done a very good job. Yeah, this 10th hole, well, it's a definite birdie opportunity, the start of the back 9. There's a little ditch that, well, you saw Maliksi was in, that runs all the way down the length of the left-hand side. No water in there, though, so you can get away with it, as indeed she did. We saw a few players hit this green yesterday. Our leader, for one, Yang, she knocked it on, actually, with an iron. But today, with the difference in the weather conditions and that heaviness in the air, 3-shotter pretty much for most players. The bunker there, 3 bunkers that guard this green, but today the pin is on 7, so really and truly with just a wedge in hand you should be able to get this within 5 or 6 feet, the 3rd shot.
Back to Denton at the 9th. And the par 3 11th, 134 yards today. Goto. Yeah, it's a good shot. One of 4 holes that played under par yesterday. 2 of them par 3s, which is somewhat unusual.
Very unusual indeed. You very rarely see that. We go back to the 9th. Liao, after her fine approach shot. Left to right. I just didn't turn. Doesn't look like she's enjoying herself particularly out there today. Quite a serious young lady.
Roberts, good layup at the 10th. Just choking down on her wedge.
Yeah, nicely judged, but unlucky just to get that little bit of spin. Just pitched it on the down slope, or the ups into the up slope, sorry. And just got that little bit of extra spin that she didn't require.
Just 90 yards left here for Rianne, so a wedge in hand. I suspect just a few spectators out now, so she's trying to get enough space around her, I think.
Well, waiting for her clubs. It'd be impressive if she knocked it on without them. She did hole a 35-yard wedge for an eagle here yesterday. It was her first hole starting on the 10th. So some positive vibes of this hole.
Say, good vibes going on there, eh? Maybe a little longer. Yeah, that's a beauty. That's actually a little bit unlucky. Just required a tad more spin. Beautiful. Straight over the top of the flag, though.
Goto's birdie putt on its way at 11, but just staying on the high side. 5 under par, good enough for tied 5th as things stand. Not a great layup from Hiroyoshi. The edge of that sort of dry brook that meanders down the left-hand side of this 10th hole.
Yeah, she's an interesting character. She met Ai Miyazato, the Japanese superstar, at a tournament last year, 2025, and she asked her, how'd you go about making so many birdies? As we just see Kim's birdie putt down the hill at 9. Well, you're not going to see much of it, but I think it's in. Yeah, Miyazato told her that when you're not in a tournament, it's a good idea to practice a situation similar to a tournament and see how many birdies in a row you can make. So she went away, and ever since since then she's been playing practice rounds, trying to make as many birdies as she can. She says it's really helped her game.
It's the modern way, all-out aggression.
Well, Miyazato knew a thing or two, didn't she, really?
A good tee shot from Sojin there. So Yun So Yang in a commanding position, 5 ahead of her countrywoman Sumin Oh, runner-up last year, and Rian Maliksi. Prim Prashnahorn, best round of the day for her underway. 6 unders got her moving in the right direction. Yi Jia Ren, already as an amateur a 4-time winner on the China LPGA Tour. She's having a decent week. Defending champion Janeth Wong, 1 over par. Mungan Lee slipping down. Still good news for Sri Lankan golf fans as Kaya Delawate's inside the cut mark. So Hiroyoshi, if her ball had landed a foot or so to the right, she'd have had about a third of this length of putt, but it just caught that little slope, which she's now having to come up.
That's a good effort from there. Well judged.
Did I spot a little 4-leaf clover on her ball?
Looked like it, didn't it?
I don't know if she's got any Irish ancestry.
What do you reckon?
Here is Ren, that 4-time China LPGA winner. No birdie there.
Jazzy Roberts at 10. Yeah. Oh, no. No. Robbed. Absolutely robbed.
She doesn't hang about, Jazzy Roberts, does she? Quick player.
Yeah, good to see, isn't it? I wish a lot more of the players grew up with this sort of speed. It's not the norm these days, let's say.
This putt here should fall away to the left. It's downhill, but with how slow the greens are playing today, she can still afford to be pretty confident with this putt.
Looking for an immediate bounce back from the first drop shot of the day at the 9th. And the world number 22 amateur will stay where she is at 7 under par. Got off to that really hot start, 4 under through 7, but just cooled off slightly the last 3 holes. Lou with some real estate to cover here at 11.
Oh, that was a long way out. Not easy to judge up those slopes with the speed of the greens, but a lot left for her part.
It really is a splendid layout here. New championship course designed and opened in 2013. Go live now to our leader Yun So Yang, staring down the par 3 8th, her penultimate hole of this second round.
Yeah, I wonder what we'll see. Will she get it up to that back slope, back flag today? I'm not quite sure as there's a little bit of, no, there's no real breeze. I think she just was in 2 minds. Just backed off just to get her thinking straight. Just a 7 iron. Sounded flush, didn't it? Absolutely gorgeous strike, and the best shot we've seen by a country mile today.
That is a woman in complete control of her golf ball. Just seeing a lot of putts missing on the high side at the moment.
Yeah, 11, nice little par 3. It's playing 134 yards today, just that bunker on the left-hand side that guards the green. It's an inviting shot because it's only a short iron, and the green slopes back to front as well. Just there's a little ridge there, as you can see. You just got to get it, that tree on the right-hand side. Doesn't really come into play, to be perfectly honest, not with such a short iron. But everything slopes towards the centre. It's a good birdie opportunity, I think, this hole today.
All about finding that back right shelf where the pin is located today. That'll be the 15-year-old Hiroyoshi with the honour.
It blows your mind, doesn't it? 15 years of age already. Third place finish in a major tournament in Japan. Yeah, that's a really good shot. Lovely distance control there.
Only been playing the game for 6 years as well. Started when she was 9. He's quite remarkable.
I think so many of these players, these Asian players especially, have such great role models. They all talk about the role models, the players on the LPGA, the Yuka Sassos, the Taya Titakans, the players that they really look up to, and they think, you know, well, they've done it, maybe we can do it too.
Well, I thought she liked it initially, then she turned away, but no reason not to like that. Great tee shot from Maliksi. It's a great point you make there. You see someone else do it, and you believe it. And if you're from this Asia Pacific region, you just look at the world rankings now, the Rolex world rankings in the ladies game. 7 of the top 10 from this region, 31 of the top 50, and 65 of the top 100 players in the world. And at the very top of that, Gino Titicum, the winner of the inaugural Women's Amateur Asia Pacific. Roberts won't find the shelf back right, so she'll have a slow putt for birdie. Maliksi tucking into a banana. What was your snack of choice out on the golf course, Trish?
You're not going to believe this. Cheese sarnie. It's healthy, really healthy. Hey, it held me in good stead quite a few times, to be perfectly honest. Now, it depends who was caddying for me. A lot of the time, my favourite caddies would come up with something that they knew would keep me happy on the golf course.
Can't go wrong with a cheese sandwich.
They can't beat a cheese sarnie, let's be honest.
Well, what a leaderboard we've got here. Women's Amateur Asia Pacific. Yoon So Yang looking to make it 4 WAGR ranking event wins in a row. The top ranked player in the field and a former US Women's Amateur champion are the two chasing her in second. Achit Aya Siwong, couple over for the day at level par. Janeth Wong, a winner 12 months ago. Well, she got off to the hot start yesterday, 4 under through 6. It looked like she might be able to defend that title. She's cooled off, but she was red hot last year.
I just love the caddy's reaction. That's one of the best reactions I've seen in a long time.
What a performance. Wonderful celebrations. 18 under par was her total. Wonderful memories. There's a look at the last 6 champions, 2 from Japan, a couple from Chinese Taipei, Ayla Galitsky of Thailand and Janith Wong of Malaysia. Gino Titikal is the one missing there, winning the inaugural edition. And
this is such a beautiful part of the golf course, and it really showcases how well they've managed to design the course around kind of the natural flora and fauna here at Royal Wellington. You probably can't quite hear it through my mic, but the cicadas are so strong at this part of the golf course that it's quite a contrast to the silence of what golf normally is. It's so loud with so many of them around us.
They're so loud we can hear them, Hannah Ray. There's the 4-leaf clover. Will it be good luck?
Oh, I must admit, I thought you might have been seeing things, yeah, but you are in fact correct. Now, is it going to give her a bit of luck? Left to right, down the hill. Oh, unlucky. Just a tad more pace required.
I was going to say maybe she likes Guinness, but a few years until she gets to taste it for the first
15.
time. Well, they're so good, it's so easy to forget. We are looking at young women here who are 15, 16, 17, 18 years old. Absolutely remarkable. Siwong just runs that try past on the high side again. Yeah, so many putts out there just not breaking, and that is what the cicadas look like. You hear them, we all know what they sound like. It's the atmosphere of a beautiful warm summer's evening, but they're not that pretty to look at.
I was going to say, got to be honest, they could do with a bit of a overhaul, couldn't they, really?
Feels like the opening scene of a horror film, that.
Maliksi, important putt here. Didn't like the tee shot, but it's only about 12 feet left to right down the hill. Can she get it started far enough left? No. Well, that was to get back within 4 of our leader. Never really, and it just took a little hop there as well. Might have just caught more of the hole without that hop. Trying to force it in a little bit.
Yeah, the warmth and the rain, the humidity out there, it's good growing conditions for the grass. It will change throughout the day as the grass just grows a little bit.
Now, after that stunning tee shot, our leader to increase her lead to 6 shots. Finally! Hallelujah! Well, she deserved that. We've seen her have relentless putts from 10 feet or inside, and finally manages to get one on the 8th hole.
Well, Goto to join Prashnahorn at 6 under. Oh. You said it earlier, the slopes on the greens are big defence of this golf course, and we are seeing a lot of putts just slide by. It's Grace Rowe, the Australian. Second shot on its way at 13.
Well, I think you could do a bit better than... Ooh, that's an absolute stunner.
I save the big reactions for when it goes in.
Oh, come on. That's a... What a shot that is. That deserved a bit more than... Well, Well, lovely tap in. She'll be delighted when she gets up there.
Vivian Liu. She's not been happy with her ball striking today, and yeah, green in regulation, but not really much of a makeable birdie chance. Hirayoshi, 12th tee.
.393 yards. 12th hole. Tough driving hole, this one. Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, good start. Played the third hardest hole yesterday and today.
Now you want to drive it down the left-hand side, ideally, because it's a bit of a sort of, it's a strange sort of dogleg second shot. You come in at a sort of 45-degree angle. If you're down the left-hand side, it's like you're hitting up the green. You've got a bunker on the right-hand side of this green that runs the whole length of the green. Maliksi after that, disappointing. Well, she hit a great approach shot, but you know, that's perfect, absolutely perfect. Couldn't have placed that one any better.
Now, Jazzy Roberts, already seen, gets over the ball and gives it a bash. Not much thinking time.
No, she says she doesn't have much natural talent for golf. She just wanted to be better than her brother Tom. Not sure how good Tom is, but he must be fairly decent. Her mother describes her as a perfectionist, and she'll keep practicing until she gets it right. That's a good quality to have when you're a golfer.
Right, Yun So Yang certainly getting it right today. 6 shots clear with 1 hole of her second round to go. Kim, 6 under par at the 11th. She'll have a decent chance to get to 7.
Now from just off the edge of the green, up the hill. Birdie putt at 12 for Shea. Not bad. Nothing really happening for her today. You see tape on her right thigh, slight injury.
Yujia Liu. Oh, might be a tricky little lie there.
Vivian Liu, her birdie putt at 12. A little quicker than most down the hill. Or would you just keep it? Has she hit it? Go on, go on. Oh, bang on line as well. Gutted.
The rangy Reagan Denton. A little bit of a pull. Up to the 13, this is Mung Han Lee. Not having a good day, Lee. 3 6s on the card.
Yeah, 12th hole, this par 4, that's kind of like a bit of a, almost like a double dog leg. You want to hug it down the left-hand side if you can, but there's lots of trees down there as well, so you've got to be very careful. You can see that bunker up the right-hand side runs all the way up. Jazzy Roberts from the right-hand side can just go straight at that flag. It's all the way at the back today. Lucky, just needed a tad more.
Just the 6 birdies on this hole today, and it is that intimidating view with that 45-degree bunker matching the angle of the green. We know there's a bit of putting surface to work with between the bunker and the pin where it is today, but from the fairway, it looks like it's just tucked over the top of it. And Hiroyoshi get it all the way back to the pin. Yeah, it's a pretty good shot there. Been playing some good golf recently. Finished tied 6th in the Australian Women's Amateur just last week. So quite a few girls in the field this week will have been playing recently in the big amateur events in Australia. And then of course the relatively short hop over to New Zealand for this week. A super shot in there from Rianne Maliksi. So a good chance for her to make a birdie, and let's get to know the Filipino a little bit better.
I'm Rianne Maliksi and I'm from the Philippines. Crackers or Inday? Crackers because of Skyflakes, it's crackers. And Inday is like an endearment in the Philippines. 9 o'clock, 52 degree that goes 70 yards. I try to change up the color of my hats and my markers. I tend to screw up the first 4 holes if I don't, so I try to change it up. Duke basketball! Go Blue Devils! I don't really watch TV shows, but I recently watched Bridgerton because my teammate asked me to watch it, and it's pretty good. Filipino food, it's called tinolang manok. It's like ginger soup. To be the best golfer in the world, coming from the Philippines. I would eat with my family and spend like deep, long times having deep conversations. At least with my mom this week.
You like a bit of Bridgerton, Trish?
Brilliant show, absolutely brilliant. Just watched the new series actually, it's just started over here. Yeah, it's fantastic. She's got good taste.
And we saw the tee shot go long for Leo.
Yeah, you said that was a dodgy little lie. Kit, you called that very correctly. She's left herself a putt coming back up that hill as well. Just didn't quite get how that was going to react out of that lie. As we see Jazzy Roberts. Now this isn't easy. Right to lefter down the hill. No, didn't break right to left. That's where she aimed it. Absolutely straight as an arrow. And she's got plenty left there as well for her par.
The only birdie of the day for her came on the first, and mostly pars and the one bogey since, just treading water a bit. Well, that's not what you want left to save your bogey.
You can see as well just the footprints out there later on in the afternoon. The greens are going to get quite tricky, short putts especially, and the greens have just got a little bit wet early on, and there's lots of footprints You can just get some indentations sometimes that you can't even see, but the ball does funny things. Hiroyoshi, her birdie putt, this to get to 3 under. Left to right, down the hill.
Putting with the glove on.
We're not going to go into the glove thing again today, are we? What was his name? Tommy?
Tommy Two Gloves Gainey.
That's the one. That very, very well-known Tommy Two Gloves Gainey.
Missed fairway for our leader, and there haven't been many of those.
Yeah, it could be the first time we've seen her miss a fairway, and she's still, well, it's a very outside chance, isn't it, really?
This, however, a very good chance for birdie for Maliksi on 12. And she regains solo position in second, within 5 of the leader.
Yeah, it's great to see those little player chats, isn't it? Because she looks a very serious, you know, competitor, but you see what a sense of fun she's got when she's interviewed. Now Yang, this is her chip shot to 9. Oh, it's good. Oh, how good. God, she's got every shot in the game. No two ways about it.
Had a little nibble of the hole on the way past, didn't it? Caught the left
Certainly
edge.
did.
So it was a lovely tee shot to hit for Kim. Well, she's heating up really nicely. 5 birdies from her last 7 holes. And she's into a tie for third. Hopefully the last shot of the day. Is to get in the clubhouse at the halfway stage at 2 under par. Currently tied 14th. Oh, we're just hearing it's a bogey putt, unfortunately, after a bit of trouble off the tee. Oh. That's going to hurt for Xingtong Chen on her final hole of the day. And a slightly shorter putt for our leader, Yun So Yang, to complete a round of 67. That's a wonderful 2 days work from the 18-year-old Trish.
Yeah, fantastic. Really has shown so much. Got every shot in the game. Hits it long off the tee. Love the way she sets up to the ball. And the short game is fabulous as well. And actually, that's probably the worst score she could have had today, because she left quite a few out there.
She held the first round lead with a 64. She was in the first group starting off of the first hole today at 10 a.m. and she has piled the pressure on the chasing pack following a great round with a really good 67 today. Just the one dropped shot in her first 36 holes, a barrage of birdies, and she's 5 clear. The chasers do have holes left today though. Well, we've seen some brilliant golf already so far today. You like this one from Hiroyoshi, Trish?
Oh, it's a shot of the day for me. I don't care if I see anything else all day long. That's an absolute stunner, really is. From under the trees on that right-hand side. Totally out of position, and not only does she hit that recovery shot, but I tell you what, she finishes it off as well, and it does a 360 and drops back in. What an extraordinary birdie that was.
This is Goto. Second at the 5th. Nice bit of spin, and that would set up one of her 4 birdies today.
This is Kim out the 5th hole, her birdie down the hill. Just had enough legs.
Yeah, she's probably the hottest player out on the course now at the moment. 5 birdies in her last 7 holes. Rhian Maliksi got off to a great start today. 4 birdies in the first 7.
This was her birdie putt at the 7th. A little right to lefter down the hill, and it was perfect.
And our leader, Yang, she was knocking pins out all day. Converted the putt there at the 3rd.
And this was a tee shot at the 154-yard 8th hole. Hadn't seen anybody get anywhere near this flag today. Well, we certainly did there. And she would go on to convert that into a spectacular birdie. Deserved it.
3 2s on the card for Yang today. Testament to just how good her iron play has been. This is her nearest challenger, Maliksi, at 13.
Perfect drive, right bang in the middle of the fairway on 13 for Maliksi. Par 4 playing, it is playing 389 yards today. It's a dog leg right. There's a bunker on the right hand side there to avoid, and that does come into play for these players, around about 245 yards. There's a pronounced dip just short of this green. Generous front portion which narrows towards the back. And there's a small shoulder there, makes judging the pace and the line a little bit tricky. That back pin today.
There's trouble off the... No trouble for Sojin Park, but that one, wow, cellophane bridge. A little bit of a puff of the cheeks and a big heavy blowout there.
Jessie Roberts, ball just below her feet a fraction. It's just gonna, well, a fade is normally where you're gonna get that, which could work really well to this flag. Just needs to sit down. Yeah, not too bad. Not the easiest of pins, it's just up the top of that ridge. It's only about 5 yards over it, and it's a downslope to the flag as well, so it's not easy to get close to this flag today. And definitely not from this position as well.
Decisions, decisions. Got to get this one up pretty quickly.
Sounded a tad heavy, yeah. I think the caddy was quite happy with that. And the caddy didn't look keen on her having a crack at that at all, did she? Looks like this club, and I don't really want you to hit it. From the middle of the fairway, Melixi, you'd expect her to get this fairly close. She looks like she likes it. That's a beauty. Well played.
Ariana Lau's second shot into the 9th. Her final hole of the day, but she's a couple over. That's slipped her back to 5 under par, having started the day 1 shot off the lead.
Go to second on the 14th. Oh, that's a beauty. All over the flag. Wonderful shot. Tap in birdie.
I think we can give her that for her 5th pickup of the day. And it's a day that's finished up for Yunso Yang, 67 to build a 5-shot lead. So Jin Park started the day in 3rd at 5 under. Slipped off of the first page of the leaderboard though. Yurina Hiroyoshi, 71 yesterday and 1 under par so far today. She'll need to get up and down from here at 13 if she's to save par and stay at 2 under.
Yeah, not an easy shot, this one. Going to throw it all the way up in the air and hope to just land it just sort of the flag on that downslope and let it run down, which is exactly what she's done. Well played. Really good effort from there. Horrible angle coming into that flag.
The hot player on the course, Kim. And it will be another really good chance. And that could be a 6th birdie of the day for her. See one over par for her back 9 to this point. Good shot for the 35th ranked amateur in the world though. Lau hoping to finish her day with a birdie. So not to be for the Hong Kong China native. Taps that one in for par. She'll be 8 shots back, having started the day 1 shot behind Yang.
Jazzy Roberts down the hill, left to right. Again, just hasn't quite given it enough welly. Lots of pars on her scorecard today. 1 birdie, 1 bogey. Not going to get it done in this class of play.
C1 to get under par for the week.
Well, after that cracking approach shot, Melixi, this to get within 4 of our leader. Oh yes. Oh no, no, no. Wow, she thought she had that. She really did. Hit a cracking putt.
So did we.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Sometimes players get really upset though when they lip out, but other times you've hit as good a putt as you could possibly hit, and right there it's in. It cannot miss, and just at the last moment it takes a 90-degree turn.
She's had a couple like that the last few holes where she's hit really good putts, you think, and they've just caught the edge of the hole. Nothing but the middle of the hole for Goto. And she will move into the top 5.
Hirayoshi's par putt. You don't want to be dropping a shot on a hole like this. This is down the hill, very aggressive. Never got it on line.
Punished for finding the sand off the tee. Well, no Korean has won the Women's Amateur Asia Pacific in the first 7, but we've got 3 of them in the top 4 so far. Goto, we've just seen move into the top 5 with that birdie. Insa Choi, the top-ranked New Zealander in the field this week. Level par, tied 19th. Defending champion Janeth Wong. 3 holes of her second round to go. And Kaya Daluwate. Still 7 holes to go, but at 3 under par, well inside the cut line. And Lei Chuk, the only Vietnamese player in the field, at 4 over. And there is the cut line. Top 50 and ties make the cut, currently at 5 over rather. And Elena Zreik, inside that mark, would be the first Lebanese player to make the cut in this event. For most of these players now, it'll probably just be 2 rounds for them this week, but an incredible experience, especially for the likes of Raina Kumar, who's the first player from her nation to play here. We can get down to Goto at the 15th tee, known for her long driving.
Long and straight. It's a good combo, isn't it? Kim's birdie putt down the hill at the 12th. Not going to have to worry about pace, just the line. Yep, beauty.
She is, I think, what you call in the zone.
Yeah, that'd be 4 on the bounce. 5 and 6 holes as well.
Siwong at 15. Interesting to see where this one ends up in comparison to Goto. Well,
You're not going to know, really, are you? Afraid.
Yeah, she might have got lucky that it's just popped the other side of the tree, so she'll have a shot, have a swing. Shea's second at 14, and it's a good one. Shortest par 4 on the course this, and in the right conditions it can be drivable. We've not seen too many players have a pop at it.
Just yesterday, didn't we? We saw one player.
Sumino got up.
Sumino, well done. Just testing your memory there.
That was a birdie for Denton.
yeah, almost think 14. If it was just almost a tad shorter, maybe around about 280, that would really entice a lot of players to have a crack at it.
I'd love to see them push the tee up for the weekend.
Yeah, exactly. Bring you know, bring the 2 into play, but bring the 5 or 6 into play as well. If you get it wrong, I think that's one trick that the women's tours tend to miss. Some of the men's don't. The men do it all the time. They'll bring make a 280 par 4, but if you miss it, the 3-wood or whatever, then you're in all sorts of trouble. But the women don't do it enough. It's got to make it exciting, and this is just too long for it to be, especially in today's conditions. But you're right, Kit. Weekend is the time to do it.
Yeah, anytime there's volatility involved and you're stepping on a tee with, as you say, the chance to make an eagle or a birdie, but the threat of a bad shot being punished, I think that's when we see the best of tournament golf.
Yeah, and that's what fans want to see, isn't it? We want to see the jeopardy, really. Possibly not enough in women's golf. This now becomes, a 3-wood and a half a wedge, which is, yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, all you're doing is just keeping it out of that bunker in the fairway. Obviously, Roberts elected to go 3-wood to go short of it, and that's the tactic Hiroyoshi is employing as well.
Yeah, 2 balls side by side in the middle of the fairway. Now, Melixi, she's still got driver in hand. Now, this is interesting because that bunker is definitely in play. I think she's having a crack to knock it over that. Slightly heavier conditions than yesterday. She's giving it a rip, she likes it. Yeah, beauty.
Got a bit of a dead bounce as well there. Didn't get much more than a yard or 2 of run, and you thought it might have shot forward off the back of that bunker, but a good tee shot for Melixi, and she'll have a great opportunity to attack the flag at 14. It's not just this tournament, the Women's Amateur Asia Pacific. There's a great academy along with it, and it gives the girls a chance to learn even more about the game.
The Women's Amateur Asia Pacific Academy aims to invite players from developing countries to uplift their skills and abilities to better compete during Championship Week.
The Academy has helped my game a lot already for past 2 days that I've been here. I've learned a lot about my short game, my long game, the mental side of golf, and also the physio and how to maintain your body so you can continue and play at your highest level.
To have these professionals going deeper into the game and knowing more about it has just been amazing. A few parts of my game that I've been wanting to work on would definitely be my short game. It's always been my weakness, but I'm pretty sure I've taken a bit from what I've learned here, and hopefully I can take it back with me and better my game entirely.
In the academies, we bring together coaching staff with a bit of a range of backgrounds, but they're all golf industry professionals. And they're people that the young players, particularly from the developing nations, would never have had a chance in their life to come across. There's some very good players and some very strong players. So I think that they might just hold their own and maybe surprise a few other people in the tournament.
A lot of learning going on in that academy, and there will be a lot to learn for the eventual champion this week as they receive invitations to some of the greatest tournaments in women's golf. 3 majors: AIG Women's Open Chevron Championship and the Amundi Evian Championship, and the Augusta National Women's Amateur Hana Financial Group Championship, ISPS HANDA Women's Aussie Open, and the 123rd Women's Amateur at one of the greatest links courses in the world, Muirfield. And another one of them, Royal Lytham St Anne's, for the AIG Women's Open. And we saw Siwong's tee shot catch the tree.
that's a beauty. 15. She caught the tree. It's 415 yards, and she looks like she's only hit a flick in there. So she might have caught the tree, but I'll tell you what, it was travelling when it did.
Top ranked player in the field, Su Min Oh, just short of the green on 9. That's pretty tidy, and she's made a good move today. 5 under for her round after a 70 yesterday.
First to go at 14, Hiroyoshi to this pin that's just tucked up this ridge on the left-hand side. No more than a little flick with a wedge. Yeah, that's a beauty. That's what you would expect today with very little wind. Just a short shot in for most of these players. Now, Jazzy Roberts, as you said, Kit does not mess around.
Yeah, it's another beauty. Su Min Oh just to finish up her second round at the 9th. Commentator's curse.
Ouch, didn't see that one coming, gotta be honest. I don't think she'd... interesting, I'm not sure that was worth the risk of hitting it in that bunker, because I think she's actually left herself a harder shot here. It's like a 3/4 sand iron shot, and you've got to get up that ridge. She's got a wet lie there. I don't think this is that easy to get it close.
Rianne had quite a lot to deal with there. You could see her reaction when she actually first got up to her ball. It was really soft underfoot, quite a lot of surface water, and some not insignificant puddles actually a little bit behind her ball, but she's navigated it pretty well, as we can see.
That was a touch of class.
Brilliant shot. Yeah, I don't think that was easy in any shape or form. It was almost like she had casual water there as well. Maybe just not quite enough, but that was not an easy shot. She's judged it to perfection.
Well worth another look.
It's definitely pretty wet underneath there. But nicely, she clipped it nicely. Just, you could hear the sort of ball turf connection, and that's how she got a nice little bit of check as well. Just coming down on that down slope.
Su Min Oh. A disappointing bogey at her last hole. It is a 68. Drops her back into a tie for 4th, 6 under par, which will be 7 behind her compatriot Yun So Yang at the halfway stage. A significant tier halfway that Goto has to deal with here on 15.
Aggressive, good effort. Now, Hiroyoshi, birdie putt. First 3 good chances here in this group. You'd expect at least 2 of these to go in. The 4-leaf clover to go first, down the hill. Slightly left to right. Oh, no. Hasn't started it on line again. I deserve better, that shot in.
The line on the ball sort of rolling end over end, so she's hitting it where she's wanting to. It's the read that's the issue.
Siwon, her birdie putt, yes, finally. Well, looked like tree trouble, but she ended up with a birdie. Well played.
Kim's second at 13, just from the right-hand rough. Solid.
Yeah, that's for 4 on the bounce as well. To get in just second place on her own. Now, after that fabulous approach shot, always worth the risk off the tee. I told you it was worth the risk. Maliksi for a birdie to get into second place on her Todd. Yeah, well played. Really good birdie. Aggressive off the tee. Was a risk, but a risk worth taking.
And that closes the gap to 4 shots at the top. Prim Prashnahorn making a good move from level par at the start of the day through 14 holes. It was Ariana Lau who started the day in second, but she's dropped back. Sojin Park has dropped back from third. That's a Shea at the 15th. We saw a great shot from a similar position just a few minutes ago.
Yeah, it didn't look a very nice lie, that. You couldn't see the bottom of the ball at all. I think that's one of those, you don't worry about how it got there. The fact is, it got there.
Yeah, no pictures on the scorecard. 2 putts and get out of there with a par. For 5 in a row, Kim.
Come on, be aggressive. Love it. I love it when you see people on a birdie run. Don't get negative. Go on. Ah. Bang on line as well. Had every chance if she'd given it a little bit more. It's funny, the mindset, isn't it? You make 2 or 3 birdies and yet that's great, and then some players feel really comfortable with that and just want to keep going and going and going and get more and more aggressive, and other players sort of, you know, you've got yourself in a good position and you don't want to mess it up.
Park just hung on to the fairway at 15.
A little bit unlucky there. Looked like that was going to release right up to the flag.
And back down on the tee. Maliksi looking to find the short stuff. And we've seen that a number of times today. Straight down for the tee, and that is exactly why. Almost dead centre.
Again, wasting no time. Jazzy Roberts steps up. Perfectionist. And that's what her mum calls that. Oh, well, actually, that's got a cracker of a bounce. That's gone forward another 30-odd yards. Lovely bounce off the down slope.
Typically been a little shorter than the other 2 off the tee, Hiroyoshi.
Yeah, you can see not quite as much swing speed through the ball there.
Pin on the left of the green here, so finding the right-hand side of the fairway should give her a good angle to go in from. This is our defending champion, Janeeth Wong, her third at the 9th, her finishing hole as well. It's been a popular spot, just short there, and having to chip it back up the slope.
Shay's birdie putt at 15 across the green. Good effort.
So it looks like it's not going to be a successful defence of the title unless there's something truly spectacular at the weekend for Janeth Wong, but she has navigated the first 36 holes of her defence in level par. Good second shot at 15 there for Liu. But it's an absolutely stunning location, Royal Wellington, and Yun So Yang and many of the other players taking advantage of it. Got its royal designation in 2004, granted by Queen Elizabeth II.
Yeah, Bob Charles is a member there, isn't he? Was.
Yeah, he had a hand in redesigning some of the greens a few years back.
I think fair to say New Zealand's most successful male golfer, before someone mentions a certain Lydia Ko. Fifteenth, par 4, straight away par 4. Quite a narrow, just a bunker on the left-hand side there at 234 to avoid, but it narrows quite considerably just past that bunker. The second shot to a large two-tiered green, and it slopes from right to left down the hill quite severely. A couple of bunkers either side to avoid as well. Good hole this one, 415 yards, not the shortest either. Need to get your drive away.
Hannah Ray's down there taking a look at the second shots.
Absolutely no wind out here now. It's beautifully calm. Rianne's got 139 yards to the pin, which is right in her 8-iron sweet spot. So should be able to really attack this pin from here.
Eyes flicking up and down between ball and pin, and it was straight at it. Yeah, and with that wind down, these last few holes are a great chance for the likes of Maliksi and Kim and Goto to get a bit closer to Yang heading into the weekend. They've got to take advantage of these scoring opportunities.
.137 yards here, another 8-iron.
We've got a big old shooting bounce from the tee shot of Jazzy Roberts. How much further has that got her, Hannah Ray?
Yeah, only 117 yards in on a good lie out of the rough.
Yeah, that big bounce that she got off her driver, well, that's stood her in good stead, because that is a very birdieable opportunity for Jazzy Roberts on 15.
Impressionahorn to shoot a round of 7 under. No birdie to finish, but she's done what she needed to today to haul herself back into this tournament. Drops in for a closing part. She'll be 6 under at the halfway stage.
Yeah, it's a really good comeback after a disappointing day yesterday. I think she was one of the players that we probably would have thought would be in contention this week.
Goto at the last of the par 3s, 16.
.165 yards. Oh, that's a cracker. Really is. Yeah, that's judged to perfection. Really well played.
It's easy to think that the players are so far back of Yun So Yang. 4 shots the lead at the moment to Maliksi, 5 back to Kim, and then it's 7 back to those in tied 4th. But when it is just one player up there, and let's not forget we're only just approaching the halfway stage, it only takes a bad few holes for Yang, and suddenly this is wide open again, and there's players right the way down the leaderboard getting brought back into it. So you've got to keep chasing, and that's exactly what Maliksi is doing, Hannah Ray.
She certainly is, and now there's a few more locals that are trickling out to see the end of the second round here. I think they were all put off this morning by the conditions, but they seem to be braving it now, and there's a bit more of a crowd building up around this group, which is great to see, giving the girls a bit more encouragement and support today.
Hiroyoshi, the highest ranked player in this group, second ranked in the field. Has there been much chat amongst the group, Hannah Ray, or have they just sort of kept themselves in their own lane?
Yeah, limited banter out here, I would say. They've all kept to themselves pretty much. Bit between the caddies, but yeah, not a lot between them.
Banter in 3 different languages, not easy.
She got the read right that time.
Yeah, like you said, Kit, just talk about the starting line. Got it absolutely spot on, didn't she? Pace was always good.
Can Maliksi match it to be the second player to get to double digits under par this week? Well, it looked like she had the read, just the pace letting her down. Those 3 key elements you need to hole a putt: get the read right and hit it on the right line with the right pace. Sounds simple.
You don't want much, do you?
Well, like Jazzy Roberts, I'm a perfectionist.
I feel like she deserves this one, Jazzy Roberts. She's hung in there all day long, hasn't one birdie, 1 bogey. Yep, got it, well done. Really good. Got lucky off the tee a little bit, got a huge bounce down the left-hand side of that fairway, but took total advantage and knocked in a good putt for a birdie.
Siwong forward at 16, the par 3 after a decent tee shot.
We've seen a lot of those this week, haven't we, that just look like they're going to turn in and just hang up on the top side.
Kim's made her way to the short par 4, 14th. Oh,
You got excited there, well done.
that's all it takes. You just got to hit the flagstick, and I nearly jump out my seat.
was a bit unlucky actually. Could have, I mean, it was pretty much middle for diddle, wouldn't it? Could have just gone straight down the pole.
Oh. Well, that is a bit of a filthy lip out for Goto there. Wasn't carrying a huge amount of pace. Now back down to the tee and Vivian Liu.
.165 yards today. Just a 6-iron, Vivian Liu. Maybe up the right-hand side. Well, up the right-hand side, oh, it's hit that tree, ouch. So, well, that is going to be an extremely difficult up and down.
Ran into the penultimate hole.
That's 3 shots we've seen today that you got very excited. It's slightly overwhelming at the moment, Kit. You need to calm yourself down a fraction.
Well, closing stages of day 2 of the Women's Amateur Asia Pacific, and with that wind dropped and the green softened slightly from that rain, we're starting to see a few approach shots and wedges scaring the hole. And that's good news for the likes of Melixi and Kim, who will hope to make 1 or 2 more red numbers coming in just to tighten things up at the top there with Yun So Yang. Have a little look back at some of the highlights of the day so far. This is Kim at the 5th, toppling it just into the front door.
This was a birdie putt at the 12th. This was for 4 on the trot. Going in at pace as well.
Melixi wanted a fast start today, and boy did she get it. This her 4th birdie in the opening 7 holes.
Well, took the driver out at 14, left herself quite a tricky little shot off a pretty wet lie, but absolutely nailed it. And she knocked that one in for another birdie.
Yang came into the day with a 1-shot lead after yesterday's 64, and the foot stayed on the accelerator. That one found the bottom of the cup for a 2 at 3, her 12th.
Well, we haven't seen anybody hit it up the back on this par 3 where the pin is until Yang came, and the leader showed everyone exactly how to do it. Beautiful tee shot, pin high, and she would then knock the putt in for birdie to get to 13 under. Beautiful played hole, beautifully played hole.
Par at the 9th, her last, capped off a 67 to go with her 64. Have her sitting pretty at 13 under par. With the lady on your screens now, Rian Melixi, looking to close that gap with 3 holes of her Friday round to go. Well, after hitting the flagstick, Kim has this to join Melixi at 9 under. Exactly what the approach deserved.
Yeah, 16th hole, the last of the par 3s, playing 165 yards today. It's a slightly uphill par 3, very long green, guarded by, you can see that bunker on the left-hand side. Massively undulating green as well. Usually plays just a tad into the wind, so it makes it play a little bit longer. And that pin today up on the right-hand side of that back tier.
Shea missing it short and right, a really slow putt up there, but she's judged it pretty well for pace. You can see from the flag there, it's just starting to get up again, the breeze, and downwind on this hole right now. Birdie putt for Park up the tier. Should be a pretty simple tap in for her part. Oh, it looks like that flag's buffeting a bit more than it was, Hannah Ray. How's that wind out there?
Yeah, it certainly is, and it's gusting a little bit. I came onto the tee and thought, geez, this is getting close to a 2-club wind, and then it will drop completely. So really tricky for the girls to decide here what to hit in. Typically for this group that we've been following with Rianne and Jazzy, they would normally be a 6-iron for them, but with these conditions, they're definitely going to be pulling more out of the bag, and with many of them not carrying more than a 6-iron in terms of their irons, it could well be pulling out the hybrids and the fairway medals for this hole today.
Shea about 4 or 5 feet to save her par, stay at 3 under. So a good fight back on the back 9 for her.
Go to second shot on 17. Comes up way short. Unusual. Disappointing approach shot there.
Kim at the 15th tee.
She's in that lovely zone at the moment. Everything she touches, she's ripping the drive down the centre, loving her iron shots and feeling it with the putter as well. And that is making her a big contender for this championship.
C1. Oh, lovely bit of spin control. Wow, look at that flag now. It is gusting. A little bit of a wait for our featured group on 16. And one of the ladies there, Rianne Maliksi, and a few other girls went out and had a bit of fun for some photos in Wellington earlier this week. It's a lovely city to spend a bit of time in, Wellington, isn't it, Trish?
Yeah, certainly is. One of my favourite places, I must admit. It's a really buzzing city, multicultural to say the least. So much going on. Lots of fun.
Roberts with the honour.
Hiroyoshi now. Not easy to get near this flag. It's actually playing downwind today. It usually plays into the breeze, but you've just got to pitch it just short of the flag, because a downwind with maybe a 6-iron in hand, it's going to release. Oh, she's not caught that solidly again. That's okay. Probably did her a favour, to be honest. If she does catch it solidly, it's a long putt.
Maliksi 1 under par for the 3 other par 3s today. You sense she'll be a little more aggressive with this one.
It's a clever shot. Unlucky. Just tried to play the little punch shot. Only way you could see to get it close was just to pitch it lower in, below the bank and let it just release up the bank. But clever shot, didn't quite get it the result it required.
Yeah, that curtailed follow through. It was a bit Tommy Fleetwood-esque with his irons. Wander up to the 16th green for Roberts, Hiroyoshi and Maliksi. First year at Duke University for the Filipino. We heard her saying, "Go Blue Devils." That's that college's nickname, and they are very proud of their basketball there. Kim tied second.
One of the worst shots we've seen her play in the last couple of hours. Should be disappointed with that on such a good roll.
So Wong, birdie after that fine approach to 17. Good, that's 2 in 3 holes for her.
Friend of yours?
Yeah, I like seeing a bit of animal life out on the golf course, and that is a very pretty paradise shell duck.
Woo! Wasn't expecting that, gotta be honest.
I'm channeling my inner Tony Johnston.
Actually, to be fair, you could have said anything and I would have said, oh. Whether you're telling the truth or not, I have no idea. Very pretty, though.
Walks like me.
You said that, not me.
I mean, that's a strut.
That is a strut.
That is a duck that is living its best life.
There is. It must be an Arsenal fan. It can't possibly be a Liverpool fan. Actually, it could be a Brentford fan at the moment.
There's a pair of the male and female.
Pace is going to be really critical here for Rianne's putt. Got to get it up the slope that runs through into the second tier of the green.
A little bit of work left to do there. By no means dead, but you'd like to think she'd knock that in.
She has holed out well today. There hasn't been often that she's had that sort of 3 to 6 foot range for a par, but she's looked confident when she has.
Yeah, she looks very good stood over a putter, I must admit. Looks very comfortable indeed. Jazzy Roberts from downtown, this one. Big, huge swing, because this is going to be slow. Oh, go on, go on. Oh, what a great effort that was.
Well, it would have been 3 in a row for the Australian, and she's come alive somewhat over the last half hour or so. Well, this is the hottest lady in scoring terms out on the course. But this is a very outside chance for birdie. When she's made birdies this week, they've come in hatful. She was 6 under through 13 at the start yesterday. Then bogeyed 3 of the last 5 for a 69. Hopefully she can maintain the birdies and no drop shots to close out her second round today.
Well, pin high for Hiroyoshi, but about 30 feet outside chance. Probably just going to roll it down somewhere adjacent. Oh dear. Oh, I got that one. A bit of a strange read, that one.
Yeah, it's not the first time. She's obviously a hugely impressive player, so young, but it's probably 3 or 4 biggish misreads that we've seen from her on the green. This is Tiana Jaycott right on the cut line, playing her last hole, the left-hander. Oh, gave it the recoil. Well, it's looking like a par here at the last would be enough for her to make the cut. She's adjacent to the green in 2, so looking like a very good day for her and Guam.
Indeed. Yeah, what a proud moment that will be for both her and her country. All she has to do really is get down in 3 shots from where she is. You'd expect her to do that, no problem at all. Look at that iconic clubhouse. I have been in there, it's lovely.
So Maliksi and Kim looking to close the gap on Yang. Sumin Oh, 68, but disappointing bogey on her final hole. Yijia Ren, couple under for the day and the tournament with 1 hole left to go. A decent performance from India's Guntas Sandhu so far as well. Level par, tied 19th. Insa Choi, a Kiwi, enjoying playing on home soil this week, as is Dare Chung and Caitlin Maurice. 11 New Zealanders in the field. Kaya Dalawate still looking like making the cut for Sri Lanka. And Elise Barber on home turf, not just here in New Zealand, but a Royal Wellington member, 13 years old, hit the first tee shot yesterday. And she is inside the cut mark with just 1 hole to play. Just seen Tiana Jaycott's second shot into the par 5 18th, so fingers crossed for her. She's looking good to make the cut. And Kim has boarded the 16th tee. If anyone can take on this back right pin the way she's playing at the moment, it's her.
Keep saying about these players and they remind you of LPGA players, but gosh, she reminds me of Angel Yin. Plays just the same aggressive type of game. Another fabulous iron shot. When she gets on a roll, she's pretty fearless.
Now, you alluded to it earlier, that what can often set players apart is they can all make birdies, but once you've got to 2, 3, 4 under for a round, can you keep the accelerator down and really take advantage of those good days?
Yeah, it's that sort of, you know, it almost a fear, isn't it? The more you make, do you want to just play it safe now, or do you want to make a mistake? But it's more exciting. Just keep going, make as many as you can.
Driven the ball really well today, Maliksi. So another fairway found and another opportunity to attack a flagstick. Park 4 birdie at 17. She's having a bit of a nightmare, in all honesty. And back to the par 3, 16th. Yujia Liu. Up and down day for her, 4 birdies, 4 bogeys.
Not quite sure what she's finding quite so amusing there. Back to the 18th green.
Well, adding to the drama, it looked like she was safe when we thought it was her second shot to the green, but we hear she was in a bit of trouble earlier on, so that is what she's left herself for a par here at her 36th hole. 6 under right now, tied 49th, 7 under, tied 53rd. Over par rather. There are the under par players. And Jazzy Roberts, you can see part of our feature group. She's in that foursome of golfers in tied 5th. It had been a bit of a ho-hum day for her, but turning it on in the last 2 or 3 holes. And you can see Sojin Park there in 10th is the other Sojin Park, the one we've seen a lot of today, who's gone the other way, unfortunately, having started the day in 3rd. But 5 Koreans in the top 10. And a nice view of what stands in front of Hiroyoshi into this penultimate green.
Beauty, another birdie opportunity. Yeah, 17, tough tee shot actually. It's played through a chute of trees. It's quite claustrophobic back there. But once you get up there, this green is quite inviting in this pin position today. 6 in the centre, should be able to get somewhere close.
Rianne, having managed to miss the fairway bunker, has left herself only 65 yards to the pin. So another opportunity to throw it in close and make it a trio around the hole.
Oh, she had a lovely wedge into 14. Look up and stepped off it there. I wonder if a bit of a gust of wind has made her change mind. She's grabbed a different club. Will she have gone up or down a club there, Hannah Ray, do you think?
Strong gust off the right. I suspect she's gone up a club.
Correct decision.
Yeah, 3 lovely approaches there. Exactly the same actually as on the 14th when they all played beautiful shots in.
Getting a bit of cardio in.
Not quite sure what that's all about.
Denton just through the back of the green with her tee shot on 16. Putter from the fringe.
Really good effort from just off the back edge. Really good effort. The amount of putts we've seen just miss the edge of these holes.
Guam's Tiana Jaycott with a par putt on 18 to ensure she becomes the first lady from her country to make a cut. And it slides by. Not all hope is lost though. 7 over could still see her playing at the weekend. Currently a tie for 52nd. Just takes 2 players to move, but it's right on a razor's edge at the moment. Kim for birdie at 16 to get to 10 under.
Yeah, lovely roll, just didn't read it correctly. Hit a good putt.
Just having a little look at the leaderboard around the cut mark. The 3 girls at 6 over have all finished for the day. There are some at 5 over still out there on the course. 3 of them. 4 at 4 over as well. So Jaycott's praying for some drop shots from there.
Finally. A good birdie there. Hiroyoshi gets to 3 under. Long way behind our leader, but with a good weekend, can certainly see herself, well, maybe a top 5, top 10 finish.
Roberts. Well, I fancied her to hold that for 3 and 4 holes.
Yeah, I think she's played well today. Hasn't really got the most out of her game, unfortunately, but been quite impressed with Jazzy Roberts today.
Rianne doesn't need to give the hole away here. She can hit a firm right edge putt and she will be in the money.
Very good indeed. That will get her to within 3 of our leader. This is by no means over and done, this tournament. Par 5 to come as well.
Yeah, that was the shot that set up the birdie. There was a big gust of wind off the right just as she was about to pull the trigger, stepped off, changed clubs, and then hit that absolute peach. So a step closer, within 3. Second lady to get double digits under par this week, Rianne Maliksi. Shaping up very nicely. It's going to be an exciting weekend at the 8th Women's Amateur Asia Pacific. Lots of birdies, some shining lights of Asian and Australasian amateur golf, all in contention. And even these on the second page of the leaderboard, if they can find a 64, 65 tomorrow, albeit it's going to be tougher with the wind getting up a bit, but they could still haul themselves back into contention. Three over par from Sophie Han today. She looked really good in our coverage yesterday. Could have shot better than her 3 under par 69, but hasn't been her day today. Skier Nakashima, one of the Japanese players, level par. The likes of Reagan Denton and Olivia Hung, Mung Han Lee, all well over par. Elise Barber, 77 today, but she will be playing 2 more rounds at her home course. And Vietnam's Truk An Lei in for the weekend as well at 6 over. Well, we saw the heartbreaking finish for Tiana Jaycott. Might just be one too many. Well, we've mentioned Daluate a couple of times when we've seen the leaderboard, looking to be the first player from Sri Lanka to make the cut. Oh, and she's just left that one in the jaws. That would have given her a nice little bit of breathing space, but still positioned nicely.
Do we know how many golf courses there are in Sri Lanka?
We can certainly find out, Trish.
Rose birdie putt at 18. Yep, well holed. 1 under par. Always nice to make a birdie, get in red numbers for the weekend, and you can take it from there and just keep looking forward.
Well, it's been an absolutely splendid second day of the Women's Amateur Asia Pacific. We've been treated to some simply stunning golf, Trish.
Really have, and this was shot of the day for me. Hiroyoshi on 9, all sorts of trouble, on all sorts of, in the trees, on a horrid lie, plays it under the trees, and then to finish it off, gets the 360, licks its lips, perfect birdie.
Well, Kim's been on an absolute tear today. And this one dropped in the front door.
And this was her for birdie at 12, pretty much same distance, same result.
7 red numbers on the card for her. Maliksi was out of the gates quickly. 4 birdies in the first 7, with that one dropping.
This was a beautifully played shot, not a particularly pleasant shot off a wet lie. Difficult half wedge shot, but played to perfection. She knocked that in for another birdie.
Yun So Yang, 64 yesterday, and kept her foot on the accelerator.
Only player we saw all day on the 8th hole with this back right pin. Everybody else was coming up short, but not our leader. Pin high, beautifully executed, and this would be her putt for birdie to get to 13 under.
Her 6th and final birdie of the day. Just the 1 bogey today. It's her only dropped shot through the first 2 rounds. And that's why she sits at the top of the leaderboard, 13 under par. I never like to leave a question unanswered, Trish. There are 6 golf courses in Sri Lanka.
Thank you.
So what a leaderboard we've got shaping up here. Yun So Yang, who's won her last 3 WAGR events, is on top. Maliksi, 3 shots back with the par 5 closer still to play. How impressed have you been by the golf these first 2 days, Trish?
Get massively impressed, really is. It's like, I love watching these tournaments because it's like watching the future superstars. We're watching them grow up, and literally in a few years' time we'll be watching them on the LPGA, and I've seen at least, well, way more, maybe half a dozen that just off the top of my head thinking they're all going to be up there without a shadow of a doubt. But the leader, she is something special.
Looking like the cut is probably going to fall at +6. Those on +7 praying for a minor miracle. But a great experience this week for all of these players. It has been a wonderful first couple of days here at Royal Wellington Golf Club, and the good news is it's only going to get better over the weekend. The wind's getting up, the tension's rising, and we look forward to having you with us over the next couple of days. Bye for now.